Good morning, students. Today's our topic is Hegel's contribution. George Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel is one of the greatest systematic thinkers in the history of Western political thought. At the core of Hegel's social and political thought are the concepts of freedom, reason, self consciousness, and also of recognition. To understand the philosophical idealism and idealist principle of the state, it is necessary to study the Hegel. I have written with Weber's quotation. Weber holds that just as Aristotle and Thomas Aquinas are considered philosophers of their eras, in the same way Hegel in the 21st century has this position. Now the contribution is as follows. The first we have is the concept of dialectism. His dialectic method has a significant place. Hegel says that to know the reality of anything in the world, we should not only see what is, but what also it is not. In his views, there are three stages in the recognition of the reality of an object. The first, it is being what it is. What it is not, it is the non-being. And the sum total of these two, being and non-being, gives becoming. The first two conclude, or their sum, it is equal to becoming. He called these three as thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. If you people remember, we oftenly have had an example that if a person gives an idea that gold is useful, it is the thesis because it is the original idea. Another one says gold is not useful. The third person will coordinating between these two and may present synthesis like it depends on the circumstances. The dialectic theory of Hegel helps a great deal in understanding the true form of things. In fact, we cannot attain real knowledge of happiness and prosperity till we have full knowledge of pain and poverty. Now, the second is his views on state. Hegel's views on state is also an important contribution to political thought. According to him, the state is the march of God on earth. Hegel has re-established the divine doctrine of state in the 16th century. He rejected the perfection of the principle of social settlement by considering the state as a gradual development and a divine institution. He advocated that the state cannot be the result of a social settlement under its consideration. He said that states are not a result of voluntary agreements of individuals because in the natural state, the powerful ruled over the weak. Thus, when there was no equality between individuals, it is useless to imagine the notion of the establishment of a state by agreement. Because, as such, you all know that an agreement can be between equal people. Hegel has considered the state to be almighty and a person whose duty is to obey the orders of the state. His ideas influenced Nazism and fascism, and he has made an important contribution to political thinking by presenting the theory that the state is indispensable for the progress of the individual and that the state is indispensable part of the state. The third we have is, it is the most controversial topic of Hegel's political thought, his idea of freedom. Hegel completely subjugated the state. Thus, He is considered to be opposed to the freedom of the individual. But critics forget that Hegel does not consider the state as an external entity, but rather believes that the state expresses only the best part of the individual. He has divided a person's desire into two parts. Now, what is it? That basically what he wants to tell us that we the individuals, we have two types of desires. The one, it is the true, and the second as the real desire. The true wish or the desire is related to the selfishness of the individual or the person. The real desire is related to the discretion of the person. So, when a person is following the laws of the state, then he is following the real desire, which is related to the discretion of the person. Hegel's view is absolutely correct that it gives the individual a state of freedom. If the state is not there, there will be anarchy, and you have heard Midas, right? The next we have is that Hegel was not a pacifist, and therefore he has totally disagreed with Kant's idea of permanent peace. He considered war as an essential element of the state and believes that war manifests the almighty status of the personality of the state. He does not consider any kind of evil in war and consider it to be the real solution to problems rather than compromises or agreements. Through the wars, there is more moral development in the people, and due to the war, the feelings of patriotism are communicated and developed in the nation. He described war as an essential and important, saying that war only prevents the civil wars taking place in the nation. Consequently, the nation remains internally and externally strong. Many nations occupy an important place in world history when victorious in wars. They become almighty and contribute to the development of the universe. Therefore, war is the only way. Hegel considers to be the cause of world progress, and it is due to wars that great people are born in the world, and war itself determines which nation the soul is rooted in and the world by it. The soul moves towards its purpose of development. Now, the last contribution we have is that he has not made any distinction between society and state. It is an important contribution to the political thought, and it is also an important feature that there is difference between civil society and state. Civil society has three stages like administration of justice, police and corporations. Police and corporations, they are closely related to the state. To distinguish between civil society and state, it is necessary that society is based on the state and let the neutral element to be considered. According to Hegel, the existence of a state is impossible if there is no police, prisons, etc. This is the end of our topic, that is Hegel, who states that state is above all things. Now, we'll start Marx from tomorrow. Have a nice day.